Yes, we made it. I know by the time you're watching this, it's gonna be late out there as fucking usual. But here we are, finally, Money in the Bank 2023. I'm Super 88. This is my review for Money in the Bank 2023. Emulated from London, the United Kingdom. And this show kind of demonstrates of how much the crowd's response, how the crowd's engagement towards the show can really make an enjoyable experience. Not only the people attending the show, for us the viewers who are watching the show. I thought Money in the Bank 2023 as a whole is a strong show, but it was taken up a notch purely solely from this crowd. I must say the international shows have been really kicking ass this year. The Elimination Chamber from Montreal, the Backlash one from Puerto Rico, and this London and Money in the Bank in London. They have had some crazy ass crowds for all of that, and this was no exception. If you really want to go back, almost like last year, Clash of the Castle, for that same country, it was in a different one. It was in Cardiff, I think, Clash of the Castle last year. This was from London, and London really sure why they deserve a WrestleMania, which a certain segment mentioned pertaining towards to that. We will get to that later, but Money in the Bank 2023 as a whole was a really strong show. And let's just get straight to it. Started off with the Money in the Bank men's ladder match. You got Damian Priest versus Logan Paul versus Ricochet versus Bush versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Santos Escobar versus LA Knight. Yeah! Boy, that was a fucking crazy reaction for LA Knight. He was surely the crowd's favorite to win the whole thing. This match was really not a strong one for Money in the Bank ladder match. At least for the men's side, it always seems to deliver more times than not. It wasn't the best Money in the Bank ladder match of all time that I have ever seen. But this was a really strong one. This has some really cool spots. Ricochet's suicide that draw the ladder onto two guys. I don't know how he did, but he made it so fluid. And the crowd was very into it. They were pretty much into LA Knight, basically. They were hanging for every move that he did. And I will say the utilization of Logan Paul for this match was pretty great, I must say. Because I thought the sheer randomness of how he got into this match was kind of I don't care for how much. Well, I don't have crazy money for how he got into that match. I will say how they utilized him for this match was great because most people thought like he was could win this match, like legit. When you look at his statue, like people legitimately thought Logan Paul would win this match, and when like, and it was more because it made other people in this match more meaningful, and the crowd will cheer for them for attacking Logan Paul, because to them he was their enemy this match, because they do not want to see him win. And yeah, like why I wasn't too crazy of how Logan got to the match. The utilization of him, I thought was pretty smart, right? Because like they like, as they thought, like, because people might have legitimately thought he was gonna win. So the other people that attacked him meant something, and the crowd really popped huge for it. Like look at like the botch finish, not botch finish, but botch almost bad botch spot with Logan Paul and Ricochet. Like they were pushed off the line by LA Knight. They ran through, but they were tumbled. They were flimsy on the middle to top rope. Like they were both tumbling, and then Ricochet, boom, like hits the table, like hit a finish by putting doing so. They pretty much collided, both their head really bump up that table, and it was fucking scary. Like it's a miracle how they did that spot in that manner and came out just okay. Because holy fuck. Like, damn, like, holy fuck. Like, I thought like their necks would be swollen at this, but the fact they were just okay from that spot was just a miracle. But yeah, this match was the usual good Money in the Bank match, specifically for the match like I pointed earlier. You had some good stories, and like, yeah, so, and like they led the spots in the match. They spaced out a bit so they will meant something. And yeah, let's talk about the finish, where LA Knight didn't pretty fire off, and then LA Knight hit, and then LA Knight was just throwing people left and right. He hit his finisher on Santos Escobar, and they were thought like this was it. Like this was gonna be LA Knight's big moment to shine, but no, punch to the face. A weird looking Falcon Arrow. Like I don't know what was really meant to be. Michael Cole on commentary said it was like a Falcon Arrow, but from the way he landed the move, I don't know if it was supposed to be a Falcon Arrow. Like, what really was it supposed to be? So Damian Priest climbed the ladder. He wishes the briefcase. Damian Priest won the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. He now is Senior Money in the Bank, as he would like to pronounce it as. So yeah. Now, don't get it twisted. I wanted LA Knight to win, just because I thought that would make him for an instant way to make him as a top player. A easy way to get to the main event scene. So, was I disappointed? Yeah, a little bit. But let's not get too mad because I can't be mad that Damian Priest won. Because like Damian Priest this year specifically has really shown. That was the buzzer background outside. Sorry guys, but with Damian Priest, I think more so this year really show how hard, how he worked hard to get toward this spot. That he was the only Judgment Day member to not have a match at WrestleMania. Like he was left on the card. Then he showed up but wasn't in a match. And then he had a match with Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico street fight. That was fucking crazy. Then he was in a World Heavyweight Championship match with Seth Rollins a couple of weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. Before this. So, and he excelled that. And he excelled well during that match also against Seth Rollins. So, he really demonstrated, he really showed how hard he really worked for to get this push, to get where he is right now. So, and he's a full-time guy, so it's not like if Logan Paul won, you don't know how many patients you gonna need to get out of Logan Paul. So, in between, so at least, and it's a fresh start. Like, Damian Priest has been in the main roster for right around 2 years, I want to say. And he's still retroactively fresh, so he's a fresh new guy that can be trusted to the main event scene, and people will take kindly to it. I think the big key to this is keep pushing the guy as such, because you can't Austin Theory it. Like you really can't. Like with the way they did with Austin Theory last year, like you really can't pull the same way with Damian Priest. Like you're just having Lucha Cassidy out of the fucking blue. Just have a solid plan for him. Have him cash in successfully, and he will do well. He might do well as world champion. Who knows? So, yeah. So, the big key to this, for this, is pushing Damian Priest accordingly, so that way, if he wins, if he cashes in successfully and wins a world title, people will take it seriously. So that's my 2 cents. So yeah, so this was a solid Money in the Bank match, and I can't complain too much about the win. Like Daniel Priest has really kinda has gotten better in the ring. Like I said this year, like he has gotten better this year as a performer. So I can't complain too much. Even though for LA Knight, like here's what I want to say about LA Knight specifically right now. Like him being in this match, he even being in this match is a win. It's still a win. Because look at how we were with LA Knight last year, this time last year. He was Master Pre in a suit with sunglasses, and there were reports back there of how he was having heat with everyone, and he was not having a good attitude. Like that was just to kind of like de-push the guy to make you think like, man, like I don't know if we should push the guy, but like I can guarantee you, like if Triple H did not came to the scene, and think how we were with the Bismarck machine, if the allegations and scandal didn't happen that led Vince into a short-lived retirement, if that didn't happen, I don't think we get LA Knight in the company now. Like, he wouldn't be this man, let alone be with the company this year. With the company. Like, and the way they were releasing talent, like, the early portion of last year, who knows if LA Knight will even still be here in the company. And the way that Triple H repackaged as LA Knight, and the crowd seemed to want to get behind with him, he being this message so when. As long they don't shove LA Knight to the wayside, he will do fine. As long as he gets crowd reaction like the one he got on that show, and in every city he's in, he will do fine. So yeah, so the next match is for the Women's Tag Team Championships. You got Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler defending against Raquel, I almost said Rodriguez for some reason. It's Raquel Rodriguez. I almost say Gonzalez for some reason. But yeah, Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan, who just returned from injury. So Raquel and Liv won the titles shortly after WrestleMania. Then Liv got hurt, and that had to be vacated. Ronda and Shayna won them, I think like end of May. And then Raquel asked for a rematch, and Liv returned. So we got this match. Like, as a match, it was pretty nothing special. Probably the worst match of the show. By the show standards, was the worst match of the show. Like, really, like, it was just there. Like, and it's so crazy of how so uneventful this one has been for Ronda Rousey. Like she went from coming in to the second round of like being really like a special attraction to basically no attraction at all. Like, it's striking how diminished like Ronda Rousey is, not only in the ring, but her presence and star power. It has diminished all downhill real quickly. And yeah, and she just became in a match that was just there. So, but you really don't want me to talk about the match. All you really want to talk about was the finish. So Liv was in one corner. Ronda Rousey tagged Shayna behind, by the way. Ronda Rousey was about to fuzz shit off with Liv Morgan, and then boom! Shayna Baszler hits Ronda Rousey from the back, puts her in a submission or the coquina clutch, something like that. I think it's what it's called. The coquina clutch on Ronda Rousey. The crowd had no idea how to respond. Like, they went ballistic for this. Like, it was the crazy ass moment. Then Liv hit her finisher on Ronda Rousey to win the title. So Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan are your brand new Women's Tag Team Champion, thanks to Shayna Baszler turning on Ronda Rousey. Ha! Where do we even begin? Like, this obviously came right the fuck out of nowhere. Like, and I don't know how to really like I don't know even what to make here with this. Because it's like, I get what they're trying to do now to get them towards Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, and all the rumors of maybe Ronda Rousey maybe has a heart out there, like she has told it that she's going to be leaving soon. So I get what they're trying to do to get this match out of the way before Ronda, if Ronda does leave or not, who knows. But like, shouldn't this been built a lot simpler? Like, couldn't you just have this tension between the both women in the team and then do this term? Like, there was no wonder this came right out the fuck out of nowhere, because you didn't have a chance to get investors in this story. Like, Shayna just hit Ronda out of nowhere, and there was that. Like, damn, like, couldn't you just build the tension up more so when this turns up it means something? Just a hunch, but I can't complain too much. I mean, it got a reaction for the audience, and I guess the turn itself was executed good, I guess. So yeah, so that's pretty much my opinion on it. I can't complain too much, but it's like, yeah, this was pure randomness. So the match was average. It was mediocre at best. But the finish was something at least. The next match is for the Intercontinental Championship. It's Gunther defending against Matt Riddle. The match was good, albeit short. And he really had a hard time finally suspending disbelief that you think Matt Riddle will have a chance of beating Gunther for the Intercontinental title. So while you didn't thought he might have a chance, but he had a good showing against Gunther. And Gunther, like, has he ever had a general bad match since he came to WWE? Like, this man has hit all hitters, like, no misses. And specifically this year, like, he has had one hell of a year so far. And while the match wasn't a part, while the match obviously wasn't a part with other matches with Gunther, this was still good at the very least. And I like how Gunther won with a heel hook on Matt Riddle, like, showing different ways how to win. I like that. And what I like even more was the return of the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre. Came back to a big reaction from the UK crowd. They obviously loved this. Drew McIntyre stared at Gunther. He hits the headbutt on Gunther, throws the layers, and then hits the claymore on Gunther, and throws and held the Intercontinental title high, laying down the shallowness basically that he wants the Intercontinental title. And yeah, this was done great. Like, you got Drew back now. and it creates a potential banger match for SummerSlam. Like, Drew versus Gunther. Like, who the hell would want to see that? Especially after the WrestleMania Triple Threat match. Like how you don't want to see this match? So yeah. So can't complain too much about it. Seems to be a threat with this show so far. My review. So the next match is Dominic Mysterio versus basically the United Kingdom Nightmare Cody Rhodes, as Michael Cole mentioned on commentary. And like I said earlier, with the crowd's engagement can really make a joyful experience for the crowd, the attendance, and for us the viewers. Like, they really carried that whole match. Even the entrance, like the whole crowd fucking singing Cody Rhodes' Kingdom music. A+ stuff, A+ entrance right there. And they really were engaged throughout that whole match, which it really felt like a Raw match. It was solely made just for Cody Rhodes to get on this show somehow. It was just there to get on the show, so let's put him with Dominic Mysterio, who has, to his credit, still has an incredible amounts of heat with himself. Like, he's one of the biggest heels just based on the reaction he's getting every single night. Like, people really do hate the fucking Dirty Dom, as now they call him, by the way. So the match really wasn't that special. Probably Cody's worst match since coming back last year. But the crowd made it up for it, and made it up in every single way, and it really saved it, because if it was like I said, it did feel like a Raw match. If it was on Raw with a American crowd, it would have probably been mediocre at best. But with that crowd in the UK, they made it like a really good match. It really wasn't, but that crowd totally made up for it. So this was an average match. This was an average TV match that Cody Rhodes just went by and beat Dominic Mysterio just to keep him busy until he can resume his build towards a third match with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And there is that. And the thing with Cody Rhodes, I do want to make it clear, like, I hate how his match with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania went. Not specifically that he didn't win, specifically how he lost. Like, that still get to my nerves a bit. But the crowd seems to be still enamored with him. Like, they want to. They want to emulate Cody Rhodes. They still want to sing his song. They seem to still be in with this guy. So as long as he continues to get those crowd reactions for the crowd every single night, and he's doing well, he's gonna be fine. Like I said with LA Knight, but yeah, for Cody Rhodes, he will still do it well if he continues to get those reaction momentum. So yeah. So that's my thoughts. So far, I was having a really enjoyable time with this show. But someone had to fucking ruin the fucking fun for me. You know what time it is. You know what fucking time it is. I saw Justin in a position! So John fucking Cena had to fucking show his ass to this pay-per-view and had a random ass segment where he fucking demolishes another fucking talent, and Grayson Waller, he used the attitude adjustment, but just kissing the fucking ass out of fucking London. Like, why did this ever have to be so fucking long? It's probably the reason why this one was 4 fucking hours. Just for this BS. Okay, eventually he wants to bring fucking WrestleMania in London. Okay, that was a cool moment, but who knows if that even going to fucking happen? Like, maybe with his fucking wisdom, it might break it, but who fucking knows? So this was a random ass segment, and all I got to say is, fuck John Cena! Although, I will say, Grayson Waller has made a believer out of me. Pretty much this year alone, like the match he had with Johnny Gargano, standing deliver, him coming to the main roster. And he felt he really belonged in a segment with from fucking Cena than Austin Theory ever was. Like, it's unbelievable how Austin Theory has made nothing out of seeing his match with Cena months ago at WrestleMania. He has done fucking nothing ever since. And that promo back and forth with Cena before Mania didn't do him any fucking favors. But Grayson Waller really hanging there, and you really feel like he belonged this time. So Grayson Waller is pretty much what the WWE wanted Austin Theory to be, and he still kind of isn't yet. So yeah, so Grayson Waller, he really has made a believer out of me. So the next match was the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. You got Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Selena Vega versus Io Sky versus Zoe Stark versus Trish Stratus. And yeah, like, I think this was the first Money in the Bank ladder match for the women's side that was pretty much on equal par with the men's, if not better. Like, this was a really fun Money in the Bank women's ladder match. Like, all women really fucking worked hard. Like, they really wanted that briefcase. Like, there was like the spots, like they all women work hard. Like, they really busted their asses to make this a really tremendous match. And like, you have some nice stories throughout with Becky and Trish, which Trish Stratus, I really must say, like, she was really sucking in that this is her first women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And she didn't feel out of place. Even being at 47 years old, like, she took bumps, she took a bump up a ladder. Like, really impressive stuff. So thank you, Trish. So yeah, so you really have some nice spots in between. Like I fucking laugh with Selena Vega hit a chancla or Soli or I think it was Io hit a chancla stuff, and then she hit a sunset flip powerbomb Soli Star onto the fucking line, which almost looked like it could have killed Soli Star. Like, oh my fucking god, that was fucking crazy. And the finish was just masterful stuff. Like Bailey and Becky were fighting. They were gonna they brought the handcuffs that Soli Star and Trish tried to handcuff Becky with early on the match. So Bailey was trying to handcuff Bailey. So Io basically handcuffed both Becky and Bailey, her damage control teammate, or Judgment Day, if you want to believe Samantha, the ring announcer. Like, she totally bossed on her part. But she handcuffed her damage control teammate Bailey and climbs up the ladder and fucking reaches the briefcase, and Io's got your Money in the Bank room as holder. Holy shit, that was a fucking great finish. Like, what can I say? Like Io Sky really proved she really is the genius of the Sky. Like, handcuffing both people onto a ladder and being on top and to secure the briefcase, that was and what I really like was almost the symbolization of the finish, with the old generation, with Bailey and Becky fighting through, but then the new generation step in and climbing up the ranks in the women's division. That's really kind of felt like with Io Sky pretty much being on her ascent to pretty much be the next top woman star in WWE with this Money in the Bank women's win. Like, she's really, and she really climbs up. She's really climbing all the ranks towards being a really top player in the women's division. She had a steady start at her main roster on damage control stuff, but ever since her match with Bianca Belair, like, that's when, like, it was like, okay, Io for Money in the Bank. They fucking got rich. And it was great. And the match result was great. Probably my match of the night. Pretty much, I have to say. So, yeah, tremendous stuff for all women involved. Like, just can't say nice things about it. So, next match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins versus defending against Finn Balor. The match was good, but like, you can kind of tell like they are saving stuff for their eventual rematch, and it really felt evident while watching this match that they were saving stuff. And like, the match only got like 12 minutes, but it's like, damn, like, this was for the world title. The world title was introduced for the Raw brand back in April before the draft. So it always sends even mentions like, this is only below the Undisputed title on SmackDown. And like, damn, like, that, well, like the match was good, but like, it just didn't get like the maximum proper time for them. And like I said, they really felt like they were just saving stuff for their potential eventual rematch. So, and it really never really kick into high gear. Like, the only interesting stuff, if you want to look at this match, was the teasing the catch of Damian Priest. That's where what I felt all it was. So yeah, like, the only like interesting part of it was the teasing of the cash in by Damian Priest. If he could have cashed in on Finn Balor. So yeah, so Rollins retain, and there is that. Like, the story with Balor and Priest potentially being at odds is going to make an interesting couple of months. And that is why I can't be mad with Damian Priest holding the Money in the Bank briefcase, because it does make a good story for if they do want to break Damian Priest or Finn Balor away from the Judgment Day. That could be an interesting way to get it there. But the match itself, like, it was kind of disappointing for the build, specifically. It had a simple, nice story with Finn Balor wanting to have revenge on Rollins for what he did 7 years ago at SummerSlam and all that stuff. It had a nice story, but the match didn't. It was good, but it just needed a little bit more time. So yeah, and that leads us in to the Bloodline Civil War. The Usos versus Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. Now, like, I don't even need to explain the greatness of this story, because I pretty document this story, even towards my Royal Rumble story. My Royal Rumble review, excuse me. Like, because and everyone else has placed it towards it. So the match obviously felt big for the story it heading in, with Jimmy and Jane finally turning on Roman Reigns for all the gaslighting, the lie, and the mental abuse that he also have been receiving. It's been a tremendous story so far. Now, I will say, like, I mentioned before how the crowd's engagement can really make a show. The first 15 minutes of this match was, let's be honest, a little bit boring. Like, there was way too much stalling. Like, it fucking, the stalling went dragging for way too fucking long. Especially some of the tags in and out from like Solo and Roman Reigns. Like, they stalled that shit for a ridiculous amount of time. So the first 15 minutes were nothing like there, but the crowd made up so much for those first 15 minutes. Like, the crowd's engagement and pretty much hating Roman Reigns through the entire match, with the tribal rancor, and if you hate Roman, stand up chants, which Roman told them to sit down, and the crowd in response to it chanted, if you hate Roman, sit down. That was fucking great. Like, that crowd really made, like, the first portion of this match so fucking enjoyable. The crowd made up awful. So the match was like, I get the slow building. Like, this was slow, but then the second half of the match was great. You had some nice psychology, the teasing of a potential Roman Reigns Jey Uso match. That got a nice bob. They all did some nice, normal, standard stuff between all of the four guys. You had some nice, you had some really awesome storytelling in a great twist. And I will say, like, the knocking out the ref in this match was kind of unnecessary because it didn't really lead to much of anything. Like, they could have taken out that stuff and it would have just, they could have got to the same spot they were going for with Roman stacking the Usos up to. Because for the portion that the Usos, that the ref now got down, it really just the Usos hitting their 1D. It should have been a 3, but the referee was not down. They roll solo, hit their finisher. I will say the Samoan and spear combo with the spike in their spear, that was a kick-ass combo, I must say. But yeah, but the near fall of the Usos at the Roman was stacking there, taking a pace of the WrestleMania main event finish between Roman stacking both Edge and Daniel Bryan, and the Usos kicking out. The crowd fucking popped crazy for that. Was fucking tremendous. You had all that would really make the final few portion of the match really fucking great. You had Solo looking almost like what the fuck, as Roman was like crying as he didn't know what the fuck to do. Solo was about to hit the splash on Jimmy Uso, but he missed and he went to the table. You have back and forth between Roman and Jay. You have Roman hitting the spear, but then the Jay Uso, a callback from the first Roman and Jay match back in 2020 during the Thunderdome days. Jay Uso hits Roman Reigns with the gunshot, the nut shot if you want to call, from when Roman hit the nut shot towards Jay Uso first. Then he also hit the super kick, multiple super kicks onto Solo, then to Roman, then Jimmy touched Jay, then Jay Uso hit the frog splash onto Roman Reigns. 1, 2, 3. Jay Uso pins Roman Reigns. Holy shit. No one, I don't even think, even the people that predicted this, no one saw that fucking coming. The Usos won the Bloodline Civil War. Like, wow. So, Jay Uso pinned Roman Reigns. Yeah, that really fucking happened. And boy, I have a lot of things to fucking say about this. And I really had a lot of time consuming, analyzing this. And I completely get it for both sides. Like, apart like me, things like, okay, like, so a part of me thinks that, because a part of me thinks like Roman probably shouldn't have taken a pin before he loses that time. That's the argument for it. And I don't necessarily disagree with that argument, because like, come on, like, I always had the belief that Roman shouldn't have been pinned until he loses those titles that he has. I see that argument, but like, the thing is, like, and they could find another way to do this, to get to this destination for where they want to go with SummerSlam, which is most likely gonna be Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Universal title. But they were kind of a pick on this match. Because I always thought the Usos had to win to make it even a justifiable thing for Jay to challenge Roman at SummerSlam. And to make it really convincing to the audience that Jay Uso could be a guy like Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. So, yeah, but so that was my argument for the Uso had to win here. Because, like, if the Uso lost, where do you go from here? But I will say it's like they could have Roman solo win, and I think like they could have attacked Jimmy so badly that Jey Uso is now out for revenge and stuff. I think they could have made that part work. Like they kind of like did this in the tribal court of Roman on the following SmackDown after this. So there were arguments. I can't disagree with the argument for not having Roman Reigns pin until he loses the title, but I think in this case it absolutely fucking worked. Because one, it is a non-title, so and it's a tag team match, so people can just shut up about that. Another thing, Roman has pretty much past the point of over dominating, even as a heel. So a nice kick back to the face, and it's really fucking great. And like, it makes sense for the story. Like Ray has specifically told Jay, "You are nothing without me. All these people chanting the Usos is because of me." So Jey Uso getting the ultimate comeuppance on Roman Reigns, basically towards him pinning Roman Reigns, handing him his first painful loss since December of 2019. That's how long Roman Reigns has been. So him handing that first loss, that was so fucking great for the story. And like, it really was a near necessary point for a potential downfall of Roman Reigns eventually. The slow crumbling of Roman's empire, including Roman Reigns himself. Like, he had that fucking attachment of him saying he's in God mode now. Well, not no more with this. So it was a great point. Like, it needed a near assessment for the story that they could tell with Roman for the next few months. And like, with the way the crowd went with the finish, I'm totally also okay with Jey Uso pinning Roman Reigns. And like, I don't know about Jey Uso being a world champion material. Like, he can totally work as a world champion, but like, I think also the person that beats Roman for those titles has to be someone that is going to you're going to build the main event scene around for the next few years. So, and I don't know if Jey Uso is that guy, fully honestly. So him at least being the first guy that pinned Roman gives him, like, pretty much cements Jey Uso. It does a lot for him. So even if Roman didn't lose the titles, it doesn't take away too much for this moment. Like, the crowd popped crazy for this. It made a huge moment for this show. Like, it gives a perfect segue for the J Roman dream at SummerSlam, the trilogy, and it has a great story point for what they could do with the Roman Reigns character for the next few months, his empire crumbling, and the potential breaking up of the solo stuff with him and Solo Sikoa. What could potentially happen in the next few months. Like, while I do see the argument of not pinning Roman to losing the title, I'm totally on board with this. Like, it added, like, it was a great pop for the crowd. It made a great moment, a huge moment for this show. And it adds some vulnerability to Roman. And it shows to the audience that, yeah, he can be beaten. And that's what I said about him being over going over dominance. Like, it really showed here, he can't be beaten. He's no longer that invincible god mode anymore. So, yeah, I'm happy about this. So, yeah, it was a slope that ended up building toward a great match with an awesome finish, a huge moment for this show in the UK. That ended a really strong kick-ass Money in the Bank. Like, I even say in my Forbidden Door review, like, wrestling has a really like, WWE, like I said, WWE has a really great year so far with their pay-per-view so far. Like, this was no exception. And yeah, this was a really kick-ass show. A really fun show that was elevated so much by that UK crowd and really demonstrate how London deserves a WrestleMania one day. So yeah, so that's my thoughts on the Money in the Bank show. Like this video if you haven't, subscribe over here. Tell me what you thought about Money in the Bank and the finish in the comment section below. And as always, I'm Jason Maenius, and I approve this message.